Hey guys, Caleb Yonkers here with Flow Theory Grappling. Today we're going to be going over how not to get ankle locked. So let's get into it. So we've all been in situations, right, where partner enters into our legs, right? He knocks us down, and now we have to deal with not getting ankle locked, right? So biggest thing from here, right, the biggest battle is a battle for our knee direction. Right? So when my partner wants to finish the ankle lock, at least standard ankle locks, most ankle locks, right, he's looking to point my knee to the side like so. Right? What I want to do is I want the opposite of that. I want to start getting my and his knees pointed up towards the ceiling. Right? So what we're going to do first, right, is some sort of grip on my partner's knee is very helpful here. Right? I can grab his knee with my left hand and I can push off the mat with my right. Right? Or typically I prefer, right, to have my my same side hand here grip the thigh, right? And now I can just lean to the other side, right, and forward heist so that I plant my foot on the mat. Our knees are now pointed up, right? And because of my elbow position here, it's hard for my partner to transition into reaps and start attacking heel hooks, right? So from here, right, I can look to start standing up, and the danger of the ankle lock is greatly reduced here, right? Not impossible, right, but much harder for my partner to finish me from here, right? There are things he could do, right? Namely, one of the best things he wants to do from here is find a way to get my heel off the mat, right, so he can start extending me, right, and now going into to alternate finishes or even Aoki locks and things like that, right? But as far as defending the initial and standard Achilles lock, right, this is generally all you need to do most of the time, right? So, again, right, I control my partner's knee, I lean to this other side, right? My whole thing is to get my foot flat to the mat, right? He can't extend my foot if it's on the mat, right? If it's not on the mat, right, now he can extend my foot backwards, right? So I turn, my foot plants into the mat, right? I don't turn away, I don't lean back, right? I drive into my partner here, like so, right? And now from here, I stand up, right? And now we need to know how to, of course, pass the various ashiguramis once we are standing. Now a little bit of a different angle, and my partner's trying to point my knee to the side. Again, I take that grip on my partner's leg. Again, if I have to, I can use my other hand, right? But I roll to this side. Notice how I tuck my leg here, right? Because I'm going to roll over this shin to start coming up, right? So I lean, I tuck, right? Don't turn so much that you give your partner a heel hook, right? Just turn enough to start rolling over your shin, right? And now standing up like so, right? From here, we go into all of our ashigurami passes, right? And we beat that initial Achilles lock. Now, if my partner is posting on my hip, right, then there's going to be an additional step, right? So if he's posting on my hip, right, what I want to do is I need to clear these feet, right? So I'm just going to look to start pushing my partner's feet to the outside, like so, right, and scooting in, right? Because now he has nothing to push off of, right? So that's the biggest thing here, right? We just need to find a way to get these feet off of our hips, right? We can also, if he's back in the Urumi Ashi, right, we can also start pushing my partner's foot down, right, scooting out. Right? We can work from here now. Again, I can start coming up out of this, right? So those are a few options, right? He could post on my hip before we start standing up. He could post on it, you know, after I get here, right? That's one of the best ways that my partner can keep pressure on me and keep me from extending and planting my foot to the mat, right? Is if he's putting these feet on my hip, right? Now he has a ton of extension and it's hard for me to reach the mat with my foot, right? So again, my big thing here is I need to start pushing my partner's feet to the outside so I can drive forward and put my foot flat on the mat here, right? And now from here, right, we go to work, again, passing whatever ashigurami we happen to be in at that point. If my partner forces me belly down, right, so he applies that pressure, right, I feel like I'm not going to be able to turn the other way in this case, right? From here, the biggest thing is I don't just want to stay in this position, right? I want to roll. I can't roll back the other way, right? But I can roll the way that he's taking me, right? So I need to roll and end up, instead of just angling 90 degrees, I roll through a whole 360 degrees, right? So that I can get back to my foot, right? So let's say, right, maybe I start clearing my partner's foot. This is a cue for him oftentimes to start switching into butterfly ashi, right? He forces me belly down, right? Now he has great base with his knees and his head, right? So I'm having a hard time rolling through all the way, right? So what I can do is when I come here, I block my partner's ability to base and slide this knee out, right? And now I look to roll. Keep rolling again in that same direction, right? But I attacked his base. That's what allowed me to roll through, right? So again, it doesn't have to be butterfly ashi, it could be outside ashi, it could be remi ashi, right? But however my partner comes in, right, and starts trying to finish me belly down here, right? Again, the worst thing you can do is just stay here, right? I try to roll through, right, but I feel stuck. So I pinch and I block my partner's knee from basing out in this direction. So that way, when I roll, right, he rolls with me, right? Again, once I end up with my knee pointed up, it's always the same thing, right? Looking to drive forward, right? Start standing up.